Hi there everyone, it is currently Friday the 25th of November 2011. I hope all the viewers out here had a great Thanksgiving yesterday, for at least the American viewers out across this region. And today, definitely seeing those fall-like conditions set in across much of Japan, Korea, and even eastern China, where you're seeing foggy conditions throughout the day today and really cool temperatures out in that area. And that also extends out here towards Japan, and even wintry and blustery conditions here along Hokkaido, where you're seeing that ocean effect snow that we've been talking about. That's kind of indicated here in these bright white clouds here along the eastern portions of the Sea of Japan. Well, that's that ocean effect we continue to talk about, dropping high amounts of snowfall out across that entire region. But still seeing this cold surge and these gusty winds extending also down towards the Ryukyu Islands. You can see these stratocumulus lines. See all these lines right in here extending off here from the northwest pointing towards the southeast. Well, that's really kind of indicative of a cold surge and those cooler temperatures pouring towards the south. The southern boundary of it is actually right in here. Anything north of this line, really much cooler temperatures than south of that line. And if we look actually at the temperature outlook for the next 24 hours, you can see the highs across the Philippines, actually 27 to 30 degrees out in that area, even much of Indochina in the low 30s, but just north of that line we just indicated here, temperatures drop down to the teens, and even the single digits up there, Seoul, you're seeing a high of 8 degrees over the next 24 hours, so much cooler temperatures ahead of that cold surge, or excuse me, behind that cold surge, but ahead of it here, you're still seeing those tropical weather down towards the south. And with that tropical weather, you're still going to see some gusty winds and heavy rains at times down here towards the south along that intertropical convergence zone, extending here across much of Malaysia. Actually, there's a possible area of tropical development over Sri Lanka off this map here, well off towards the west. And also that rainfall extends out here towards Borneo, but also you're seeing another area of convection starting to spin up here just northwest of the Philippines here. That's expected to drift off towards the northeast as it gets wrapped up in the westerlies. And even by Sunday and then into next week, you're going to see that low push off towards the northeast, hit the Kuroshio current, or this warm current right here, and possibly develop up into a fairly significant westerly system as it runs off towards the east here. Also behind that, though, you see another low runoff of China here pushing off over Korea. That's going to bring some precipitation by midweek next week as well. And even by this weekend, you're also going to see another weak low run over Korea as well. That could bring some more of that ocean effect snow out here towards Hokkaido. So definitely going to be in and out of the weather out here in the westerlies, and even this area of low pressure bringing some rainfall here by the early part of next week to the Philippines, and eventually off here towards Japan by the midweek overall. But as far as tropical development, really nothing to speak of out here across the entire Western Pacific. This is just the model outlook and the ensemble showing CMC, the UK, and NOGABs and GFS, and any potential of lows out in the region, and really quite clear out here. You have a little spit off here from GFS saying some convection running across the Philippines, but nothing of a significant tropical cyclone development, and definitely nothing really expected. We're starting to get in the climactic part of the year where you're really not going to expect any tropical development out of this region. Main reason is you always have that cold air spilling in from the north with those cold surge. Not only the cold air, but also that increases the vast amount of vertical wind shear out in the region, and not really conducive for tropical development. But with that said, unlike in the Atlantic, out here in the Western Pacific, you really don't get a break from the tropicals, because as that monsoon trough pushes south, it starts to move over the Solomon and the Fiji out here and parts of New Caledonia. That's where you see the increase in potential for tropical cyclone activity as the wind shear starts to decrease out here across Australia, and also these sea surface temperatures start to pick up as well. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on this band out here. In the near term, at this point, we're not expecting any tropical cyclone activity, but it also continues to bring that heavy rainfall out in that area. But as far as weather out across Australia right now, really the main topic is this area of low pressure here located over southern Australia, extending out towards New South Wales, where you actually have a cold front extending here, pushing towards the south with the warm front extending off of that as well. No, the color's not right. This actually should be in blue and this in red if anybody is actually trying to get technical on this. But overall, you are seeing some heavy rainfall out in that region. And earlier today, there was some severe thunderstorm warnings across Queensland. Well, Bureau of Meteorology has since canceled those as those thunderstorms have started to die down here by the evening hours. But you're still seeing those heavy rainfall and actually some flood warnings and coastal wind warnings in effect here along the coastal areas of New South Wales. So definitely going to continue to watch that system as it pushes off towards the east here. We look at the Bureau of Meteorology's 4-day outlook, and if we continue to scroll down here, you see that low pushing off while another low starts to work its way in here from the west along the maritime lows just down here towards the south associated with the 40s. And here is just another look using the GFS model outlook. You see that low over New South Wales at this time here on Friday. Well, and once we move this off into the weekend, you see that low starting to run off here towards New Zealand. New Zealand does not need any more rainfall, specifically on the west coast. I've been posting some video updates, actually produced by Jeff Mackey out there on the west coast, showing some severe flooding out in that region. So any new low is definitely not going to be very conducive for the weather out there. And actually by Sunday and the Monday, you see this rainfall start to move off towards the west coast. That combined with the orographic lifting out there, and definitely going to spell the problems out there and bring the potential for some heavy flooding. But really the Australian high dominates after that. You do have that cold front run across Tasmania and parts of New South Wales and country Victoria after that. But all in all, though, it doesn't look like anything really significant developing out there, and definitely not expecting any tropical activity. That is all for right now, everybody. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, as always, please post them in the comment box below. And as always, please check at westernpacificweather.com for newer updates. We just actually posted a new poll on there, just seeing what people's favorite time of the year is as far as seasons out there, see what people feel more comfortable as far as the weather. But that's all for right now, everybody, and thanks again for watching. Have a great day.